Hello, guys. Welcome to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian. Today, we are talking all about this, an incredible kind of manifest your soul dream sky coming up when Neptune conjuncts the sun, while Jupiter is in attendance along with Mercury in the sign of Pisces. Let me talk about rarity before we talk about why this is so good. And we're going to cover your sign as well. And by the way, before I start, Manifest Your Soul Dream is a free webinar that I am teaching on the Saturday, the 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you want to jump in, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a guided meditation. I'm going to talk about how each of the signs gets this sort of really big hit from this. And I'm also giving you a free Into the Synchronicity Portal professionally produced meditation by me if you sign up. And when you sign up, you'll get an automatic link to the Zoom room. And if you don't make the meeting and you can't be there Saturday, not a worry. The sky magic with Neptune in the heart of the sun is still in place all the way until the end of the day on Sunday. So go ahead and just sign up, and then you can always just listen to the replay, which will be out right after the course, right in your email box. Okay, let's get talking about the sky, why I like it so much. Oh yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, check my description box below for everything I do. I'll put the link to the course as a pinned comment. By the way, since it's free, no risk signing up, you might really want to just jump aboard and again, get a replay to your email box if you don't make it in person. Okay, so number one, Abundantia. Let's talk about that. There's an asteroid that represents prosperity, wealth, abundance, and fruitfulness and thrival energies. And this asteroid Abundantia is sitting at 22 degrees of the sign of Taurus, where it's pretty close to Uranus. Uranus is hovering nearby for sudden abundance, dramatic change. And I've been talking about in a lot of my videos that this Abundantia had been hovering near Uranus for the last month or so, but now it's going ahead and moving past Uranus. Yet, on the 13th of the month, when Neptune and the sun join, although it's an orb on the 12th and the 13th, at the very same time this is happening, the sun is catching up with Neptune and merging with Neptune. Neptune's going to be in the heart of the sun, the god of wish fulfillment, imagination, divine imagination, enlightenment, dreams, your reveries, your power to storytell and to visualize, basically also to manifest. This Neptunian energy with the solar amplification will be in a sextile to that Taurus Abundantia at 22 degrees. The whole sky's happening at the energy of that 22nd degree of Pisces and of Taurus. So when we do the all signs, and stay tuned, I'll be talking about how that corridor of the Pisces and the Taurus match your sky based on your rising sign and what might happen in your story. Now we're going to add a little more juice. Pluto is sitting around 28 degrees of Capricorn and is in orb of this sky story, creating a little mini grand trine that's very fortunate. And at the same time, Neptune and Jupiter come together, and let me show you what it looks like. And they're in relationship with the nodes of fate and destiny. So let me talk about the collective and then move into the all signs portion of the reading. I'm so excited by the sky, guys. So first of all, rare. Let's talk about rare. You have to go back to 1856 in order to have Neptune coming together in the sky with Jupiter. It would help if I put the sun in here because that's what we're talking about. Let me pull back that poor sun because I took him out for some reason. Or did I or didn't I? Oh my God, I can't find it. Oh, I see. No, I did take the sun out. Let's put the sun back in. Here comes the sun. All right, resume the share. And let's grab it for you guys. me and my tech. Okay. So the sun and Neptune come together about once a year. So that's not the rare thing. The rare thing is that number one, it's happening with the co-presence of Jupiter, which hasn't happened since 1856 in April, in fact. And we're all looking as astrologers to April 12th, 2022. When Jupiter will join with Neptune. Again, I'm going to do a special video on that, maybe even a webinar because it's so extraordinary. Rainbows and unicorns, pots of golds, and enchantment are a few of my favorite words, fairy godmothers, about this event. But also you can see that this time around, this particular Neptune Sun conjunction is having a love up from Jupiter. It's really close. It's within orb of influence. So the god of luck, opportunity, and expansion is adding his force of goodness to the god of enlightenment, manifestation, high dreams and visions, storytelling, all of that stuff, filmmaking, Neptune. And then the sun, the solar energy of the divine will. And all of that is compiled in one big triple energy here, looking over at 22 degrees of Taurus, where there is an asteroid called Abundantia. My software doesn't draw it in, so you just have to trust me. It's sitting over here. And that 22 degrees is on the north node, blowing up, inflaming, adding like helium to the energy of abundance. All right. You can't ask for anything better. And this energy is also trining the south node. So the place of surrender and letting go has a flowing trine energy. You'll see the sky set for Vancouver, Canada, where I live. So this is going to happen during a Capricorn rising. And this is happening most precisely, this cazimi or heart of the sun, Neptune conjunct the sun energy is happening around 5 a.m. Pacific time. I don't think you need to get up at 5 a.m. In Pacific time on a Sunday, or 8 a.m. in the Eastern Seaboard to really use this power of the sky. So my class is on Saturday, but you can also definitely say all of Saturday, all of Sunday. You're kind of in the juice of this magical manifest your soul dream. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about each of you. And why did I say soul dream? Because I think, Neptune is a very transcendent, amorphous, big, transpersonal giant, unity consciousness, unconditional love, the way we're all connected, other dimensions and other realms, right? It's bigger than our individual lives. And I think our soul can use Neptune. I mean, I looked at charts of people who had enlightenment experiences, and always Neptune was a part of that sky for them, making a very significant transit. Transiting Neptune went over my Mars in 2019 and 20, and I channeled 2 books, like a divine inspiration. I was hearing the voice of God, The Coming Age of Miracles, and The Way of Miracles. The Coming Age of Miracles, a free PDF download. In that book, God Predicted a Pandemic. I channeled it in 2019. That's the kind of stuff that Neptune does. If you want to check that PDF for the free Coming Age of Miracles, I will put that in my description box. I really don't want to flog that thing out in the world because I feel like it's controversial content in there. And I didn't really want to be, dealing with it, but it's available for free as a PDF. So Coming Age of Miracles, I'll put it in the description box if you want to download it for free. But in the meantime, come take my Manifest Your Soul free course. It's free, guys. It's 1 hour. It's at 10 o'clock on a Saturday Pacific. And if you don't get there in time, you get the replay and you can listen to the information. Okay, you get the gist, right? And do the meditation that we are doing as a group that I'm leading during the course, as well as get my free Enter the Synchronicity Portal meditation delivered to you in your inbox the day after we finish the recording. Okay, so you get a lot of juice for free. All right, so the whole world might get something out of this. Okay, it's not just about our individual lives. What could the world get out of this yummy spot of the sky that's happening, that's quite enchanted, that is activating the nodes of fate and abundantia? Well, for one, if I was looking at the story of the fact that, let's say, we've got a lot of other difficulties, a besieged Venus and Aquarius. That's the long prolonged problems in the Ukraine that won't be resolved anytime soon. Go check my Putin videos out and stuff. Because of the besiegement of Venus, peace accords won't be felt until the end of March, when she's out of her Aquarian enclosure between 2 malefics, Mars and Saturn. However, I will say that this is an offering here of hope from the sky for the world in some fundamental way. And if I look at, for instance, at the chart of the United States of America, and I was just to perspective it that way, right? Or the rising sign of Putin, even. It's a trining Putin's rising sign. But let's look at the United States rising sign, which is Sagittarius, right? So the US Sagittarius rising is around 12 degrees over here. This is therefore happening in the 1, 2, 3, 4th house of US of A. This is really good for domestic politics, for things at home in the United States of America, for things going on even in the center of leadership like Washington, D.C. or the White House. The homeland is having some sort of benefit from this event, which could be quite good for abundance. As I already said, the abundance factor is highlighted. The 5th house is the house of the working people, where this abundantia is, and the labor market. So don't know what it could be, but some surprising positive new developments regarding things to do with work, workforce, economics, etc., may be playing out, for instance, in the United States. Now, I don't want to do all world speculation on this. It's quite dreamy. It's quite magical. It's quite enchanted. And sometimes with stuff like this, especially with Neptune involved, it might be hard to pin it down. Okay. So let's move into the all signs instead. So I'm going to come back to you guys, and I think I'm going to start with, for the all signs, Pisces, just because it's happening in the house or where the sun is or where the moon is for you Piscean people. So let's start with you, okay? So Pisces, sun and moon, and especially Pisces rising sign, how can you manifest your soul dream using this auspicious sky that's going to be in place on the 12th and 13th of the month of March? Well, number one, if your rising sign, sun or moon, is anywhere between approximately 15 to about 27 degrees of the sign, I'm going to say, even for you, let's widen that orb a bit. Yeah, 27, between 15 and 27 degrees of the sign of Pisces, you're getting the most juice from this. I mean, you're really feeling blessed, and you're going to feel basically good about yourself anyway this year, because Jupiter is coming into your territory. He's been there since December 29th. He'll be there till mid-May in your first house of identity, in your body, in your health, and then he'll be back again near the end of the year. So you're getting Jupiter's blessings. You're going to be more lucky, more auspiciously magnetic, charismatic, having more people wish to follow you, feeling good about your life, finding faith, hope, and optimism, and maybe getting in touch for some of you Pisces, probably with your true calling or your true career, because as Jupiter moves through your first house, he owned your 10th house of career and purpose. And you may find that this is a time for that to really solidify. But in the meantime, this moment of manifestation on the 12th and 13th, with Jupiter overlording and Neptune and the sun there, this is a very positive time, especially for abundance coming through the house of siblings, where Abundantia is sitting on the North Node, or abundance through an online course or study or some kind of learning that you take, or abundance coming through websites, and abundance coming through your social media platforms. And lastly, Pisceans, abundance coming through things to do with your local neighborhood as well. Things going on in your local environments, or even a local trip or a domestic trip. All of these things are bringing blessings for you on the weekend of the 12th and 13th of the month of March. And you could also look at this with Pluto bringing some power from your 11th house as friends and allies who benefit you, favors from friends, help from friends to increase some goodness in your life, especially around activating things to do with trips and travel and third house location, or online learning and study, or skills-based learning and study. And also you can expand that meaning of the third house to your extended family, the aunts, the uncles, and the cousins as well. So it's not just really the siblings. It could even be benefiting from those people as well. And friends with favors, Okay, siblings with favors, aunts and uncles with favors, people trying to support you in favorable ways. All right, let's say, yay, you want to manifest during my class or on your own. You'll be tapping in during our time together into how to pull the abundance and the dramatic increase of abundance in your life from the third house, using the power of your very own self. And lastly, you'll have to take action. You of all types cannot just let it happen and sit back and wait. It's the house of you, where the hot spot of the magic sky is. So if you sit around doing nothing, nothing will happen. So one of the things you might do is do your manifestations and come to my class. Just try it out. Worst case scenario, nothing happens. Best case scenario, you team up with a bunch of powerhouses in a group environment. We meditate, a guided meditation by me after the astrology part of it, and we will really, really make a large field of, yes, let's make it happen in the sky together. All right, so let's keep going. Pisces, yay. Let's move past you. So obviously the next sign we're going to cover is a sign that comes after in zodiacal order of the Pisceans of the world, which is usually our first sign, Aries. I am an Aries sun and moon and Mercury, guys, and Athena. I have a big Aries stellium in my sky, in the third house of oracles and diviners, in the house of the goddess, and in journalism too, which I was a journalist. So, you can't make this stuff up with astrology. It's all very accurate. So for you, sun, moon, and rising sign Aries people, this is your time to go really deep into your soul, into your deep, deep self, because this is a 12th house activation. And, the deepest meaning of the 12th house is enlightenment. It has it's one of the three moksha or spiritual liberation houses, 4, 8, and 12. But 12 is the full Monty, the Buddha thing, the Nirvana, the Samadhi. You go all the way there. Now, if you're not looking for enlightenment, fine, but you still could get some here. You could get a new spiritual awakening coming out of the sky. The second thing I could say here is that it's, connected Neptune to dreams, and the 12th house can be connected to dreams and also meditations and trance journeys and just shamanic journey work. Things we do like that. I would actually place psychedelic work in the 12th house as well. So if you take psychedelic plants and stuff like that. So here you have this opportunity to be very consciously aware of how you can tap into that powerful, deep collective unconscious and deep qualitative, soulful place of the 12th house. You of all people are the ones who should be definitely doing a guided visualization with me. And then this energy is getting support, all right, from abundantia, or abundantia is connected to it in the second house of money, earnings, possessions, income. It's like the money house. It's the way that your physical body is supported. The second feeds the first. It's like food, shelter, and water, and food, but also money. So your values and what you value are expanding and exploding, and your wealth and your money is going up, 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 courtesy of this potent magical sky. Now, I said manifest your soul dream. So where would that fit in if you're talking about money? Well, because Pluto is in your career house, Aries, and he's lending a hand to this auspicious sky. He's wealth and power, transformation and transmutation in the house of career. Let's face it. Name an Aries who hasn't, since Pluto entered your 8th house in 2008, had a massive ongoing transformation of your purpose or career path. So this is coming to an end in 2024. The transformation is going to be complete. And this particular window of time is where Pluto is supporting more financial abundance, more resourceful prosperity coming through the depths of your soul as you visualize, own, and really lean into that magical interdimensional 12th house space. And don't forget, the North Node is expanding things with Abundantia. Abundantia is literally conjunct that North Node. So it's not a little bit of abundance. And with Uranus co-present in the second house, it could be very rags to riches. It could be a very sudden, big, giant boost in your wealth. Aries people can come from any source, by the way. Second house wealth doesn't have to be a paycheck. It could be because you sell a possession like a home or a piece of furniture, an antique or something like that. You never know. It doesn't have to be just your paycheck gets bigger, but it can be that as well. All right, moving forward. Taurus, sun, moon, rising sign. So Taurian folk, you guys are having the energy of a beautiful, powerful, rare. Don't forget, if you watch my first half of the video, like 166-year rare, Neptune conjunct the sun. Well, Jupiter is also co-present, in fact, conjunct as well, triple conjunction. Now, as this energy is happening in your 11th house of good spirit, which is also a pennies from heaven and wealth house, like where you could get some financial gains from your career that are over the top, or some lucky money breaks, or some fame even. There's some stuff going on here, which is like how this dreamy Neptune will reset some kind of direction here that can play out over the next year, but you might be feeling it in this acute window as well of the 12th and 13th of March. This is a time as well to gather with groups of people, because this is your house of group belonging. And so to be in community with others is really good for you right now in terms of harnessing this. And it may actually be that Neptune says we're going to create opportunity and harness energy from friends and allies and benefactors to bring abundance to you in your house of your body and your identity. Now, your body, Taurus people, sun, moon, and rising sign, is going to benefit from this. So it can bring you really good news about health, about vitality, abundance, a feeling of abundance personally and physically, or in some way just really good about yourself. And Taurus, if you have a rising sign that's anywhere between 15 to 27 degrees of Taurus, or even your sun and moon are in those degrees, also you really are amplified by abundantia and this energy of increase of wellness and self-identifying wellness, connected as well to this gorgeous sky at 22 degrees of Pisces. Lastly, Pluto supporting you by lending power and transformation from the house of your dharma, your unique purpose in life, your 9th house, soul and wisdom, and trips in foreign lands as well, travel to foreign lands. courts and court situations. Now, it is the house of the father in Vedic astrology. So maybe even something to do with a father or father figure, powering up some positive blessings for you in your finances over the course of the next while as this possible yay sky unfolds its goodness. And, technically, I should have said this up front, any of this can come to play over the next year, because Neptune won't reset its button again with the sun, okay, for another year. So you might not experience the thing that I'm talking about right away. It could take up to a year, but it could be much, much sooner. And given that Jupiter's co-present, I'd say you'll know what this is about by the middle of May. Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign. So if you're a Gemini, all right, and you're getting this energy in your 10th house of career, which is where it is, this is a good opening for you to expand and to grow and to rise up. Jupiter's there in some new power within the context of what you call your career. If you don't have a career, then what you call your purpose. If you're a student, people ask me this all the time. Well, the career of being a student, right? That's the thing you're doing in the world that people recognize you as doing. Therefore, it's your 10th house thing. People say, well, what if I'm just at home raising kids? Well, maybe you can count that your career is to be a mom, or a dad, but it's a visible part of your sky, your reputation, your visible success in the world. And up here, you're having Jupiter until middle of May, really expanding that. He's been there since December 29th. And now there's this manifest your soul dream portal with Neptune and the sun at 22 degrees of your 10th house. So certainly, as I've been saying, Geminis, for instance, is your rising sign anywhere between 15 to 27 degrees of Gemini, or your sun and moon, then you're really getting a lot of intensity and goodness from this more directly. But all Geminis get it as well. It's not just for the people with those degrees. I would say to you that because abundantia, the abundance factor, is in the 12th house, the abundance isn't coming on. It could be PayPal, Stripe, revenue from foreign shores and foreign lands, how you're bartering and trading by making money come from foreign shores. That can be very 12th house stuff. It's third from the 10th. However, I would also say that it can be the abundance and the wealth that you can pull out of your deepest part of your being, your soul, your dreams at night, your meditations, all of that. Very magical, very transcendent sky space of the 12th house. So abundance is coming from deep within you. It could be a dream. It could be a meditation that shows you something you need to see in order to increase the power of your career success and your ambitions in your career, or the path by which you're recognized and succeeding. With Pluto power, aiming a little love at this sky on the 11th, the 12th and 13th, then you're going to say Pluto brings wealth in the 8th house. He's already good at that. Like Pluto in the 8th house is a wealth person, right? He's a money energy, especially gold and investments and things we dig up under the earth and treasures, oil, but he's sitting in your 8th house of investment monies. And so a lot of Geminis have had a lot of turbulence, change with Pluto in your 8th house in terms of investments, stock investments, bank loans, mortgages, credit card debt, taxes and stuff like that. I wouldn't say turbulence, but maybe gritty transformation since 2008 as Pluto's been journeying through here. But here we have he's completing a story in 2024 as he gets out of your 8th house. And as he's finishing up, he's giving you this auspicious, rare, 166-year rare, a cooperative blessing with Jupiter, Neptune, and the sun in your career house. This is the time to align your career or have it fall into place in a way that supports you financially without having to hustle and earn a lot of money. Making money is the 8th house. It could be the ideal stock investment that's made now, investing in your company, investing in the IPO of a company you work for, or it could be money's coming from another place to support you succeeding in your career, like an inheritance or like something, bank rebates, stipends and loans, the perfect mortgage or something like that, home equity loan. Lastly, don't forget, this top of your sky Jupiter journey only happens once every 12 years. You're going to get a little bit more at the end of the year, but it's an angular Jupiter. You're going to get some more Jupiter juice at the end of the year, October 28th to December 20th. But you really want to capitalize on this. This is where you can ask for your raise, where you can get that promotion that you deserve and want, or you can apply for your dream job. Apply for your dream job. If you don't know what your dream job is, come to my class, Manifest Your Soul Dream. It's free. And it's on the 12th of, it's on Saturday, the 12th of March, the day before the exact Kazemi. Okay. But it works because we're within an orb of influence that works. Okay. So come make some magic with me. Love to see you there. All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. Now, first of all, fundamentally, keep this in mind. This is water trining you, right? You guys are having a Jupiterian flow and luck energy coming from called a water trine, 120-degree angle from the Pisces signs chunk of real estate to your identity chunk of real estate, your sun and moon or your rising sign, especially in Cancer. And if your rising sign, sun and moon is between 15 and 27 degrees of Cancer, you're really getting a great sense of blessings from this. So the water trine people just feel blessed, right? I mean, it's like, wow, there's no hardship here. This is like, yay, luck, yay, flow, yay, ease. It's in your 9th house of God and soul and courts and foreign lands and book publishing and higher education and learning. Okay, these are the areas where visas as well, if you're traveling and stuff, this is a blessing zone. It is the house of the father in Vedic astrology. So father figures, also blessings from them. Now, this reset button, this new beginning that's happening with Neptune and the sun with midwiving it, Jupiter midwived, right, is going to open up some corridor of abundance because of abundantia at 22 degrees of Taurus with the North Node in the 11th house of fame and great gains from your career, financial rewards from your career, or your 10th house, things to do with friends and allies, people who want to help you, favors, leg up, you know. And lastly, did I say fame? You know, if you're looking for fame, okay. And pennies from heaven, if you're looking for a windfall. So because the 9th house is the house of God, and the 11th house is the house of pennies from heaven, this could be a good time to sit down and do a little bit of a prayer or an energy of connection to the God or divine or source or creator and say, any chance you could drop me a bucket of money anytime or a bucket of prosperity? It can't hurt. Certainly you could get prosperous from a friend or an ally or somebody offering you some kind of financial bonus or get benefits, definitely as this thing unfolds in the sky. Pluto's lending some power and some support from your 7th house of business partners and marriage partners. This could also mean that some of this bonus money and bonus success and bonus yay, the prosperity that may be offered, the abundance in the 11th house, could be coming in partnership with a business person that you're aligned with or with your marriage partner. There's either or and, you know, it's all possible. With Jupiter in your 9th house until middle of May and coming back the last couple of months of the year, you could really find your guru, your spiritual guide, your teacher or mentor or life coach, the one for you during this window of time. So being eye open to something happening outside of the everyday, as in meeting like your truest teacher, your sat guru, or a really good coach or mentor for you. Because with Jupiter up here in the 9th house, he often outpictures as a religious leader, truly, but in this case, as a mentor, a guide, somebody you can really lean on spiritually or to help you through life. So it could be opening up the door for something like that for you, Cancers as well. Okay, fire Leo, here we go. Sun, moon, and a Leo rising sign. So this is something that's happening in a subtle place for you, just like with the Aries, okay? It's happening in your 8th house. Now it's subtle and not subtle. It's an aversion to your ascendant or your identity. So you may not feel it straight up in your face, but the good news is the 8th house is an occult mysteries and magic house. And I would love you to come to my Manifest Your Soul Dream and conjure up a little magic for yourself and see what you can manifest through this process of meditation and guided meditation with me, as well as looking at the sky in a group setting. There's a little astrology lesson, but if that's not your cup of tea, no worries. What's percolating in your 8th house for you is money stories that are trying to bring forth abundance through career. See, abundantia is at 22 degrees of Taurus with the North Node in your career house, sudden abundance in your reputation, success, and career zone for some of you Leos, but also connected to your wealth zone, especially like business loans, lottery tickets, because the government has to pay you. It's not your money, bank loans, mortgages, inheritances. So money can come to you through this window of this Neptune Sun-Jupiter portal that's opening up in the sky. And, on the 12th and 13th. And, with Mercury sitting nearby as well, he's sitting over there in the early degrees of Pisces. There could also be some really positive developments to do with stock markets or investments, because Mercury is mercantile and he's sitting there as well. Like you bought a dreamy investment that you didn't think would pay off, and suddenly it does. Now, the other cool thing about the sky with this story is Pluto supporting you from the work house and the work routines house to bring extra power to this abundance narrative. I think with the Pluto trining Abundantia, and he's coming from the 6th house, a lot of this can be coded as some sort of career directional shift that creates greater wealth with less work, like how you can really leverage yourself in your finances regarding work and work routines and things that you're doing. So Pluto is transforming your work routines and your work habits and your office space, if you have one, because he's been doing that for a while. And all of a sudden it's like, or someone in great positions of power within your context of your colleagues and workspace is going to help lend a hand to improve you financially, but also experience a greater financial abundance in your work. If you don't have a workplace and you're self-employed and all of that, it still applies, okay? Especially because Jupiter owns your 5th house and he's in the 8th. So even your independent business entrepreneurial activities can have a great boost of abundance, and your reputation goes up, up, up with it as well. So enjoy that ride, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. In your natal sky, you have this collection of yummy portal of rare 166-year goodness of the Sun, Neptune, Jupiter in your 7th house of marriage and business partners. Now, if you are with somebody, this is so good because it just opens up a new start that brings it to the dreamier, more spiritual, more transcendent level of Neptune. Your relationship gets more unconditionally loving, more soulful, more connected. Jupiter's trying to grow your relationship if you have one. So as I said before in other videos, if you're married, you get engaged. If you're getting engaged, you get married. If you're dating, you move in together. Things are getting better and more stable and expansive and joyful in your relationship and business relationships, partnerships as well. And if you're a Virgo who throws things into the public sphere, like your audience marketplace energies is the 7th house, 10th from 10th, you may find yourself also really growing and expanding your fans, your audience, and all of that. So I have a Virgo friend who's a real estate agent. She always has to send all these, flyers out and advertiser stuff. This is a time of great expansion of her client base as Jupiter is moving through this 7th house until this middle of May. So if you're alone and you're single, the portal is opening up the potential to invite in a soulmate, unconditional, transcendent, beautiful love story, a big love story, exceptionally yummy, maybe even twin flame narrative. So whatever that really means, really. And so if you're single and you want to come to my Manifest Your Soul Dream, I would say that this is going to be an ideal class and energy for you to really tune into increasing the yum, prosperity, and joy in your current relationship, or adding a new person to your story so that you're no longer a single being. The Abundantia, the abundance asteroid, is in the 9th house. Abundance can come right now with inflammation and activation or expansion from that north node, and very suddenly Uranus, from things to do with the 9th house. Now, this is foreign lands and travel. And so you and your partner may make a decision to take a trip, or you may plan a trip, or you may go on a trip in the wake of this 12th and 13th event. Or you may even have some dramatic changes around legal affairs, and it impacts you positively and brings a greater wealth and abundance to your relationships. Or if it's about your business, you win the court case to get something that is yours, and now your business expands, or something like that. You could also look at the 9th house as a very spiritual house. And for some of you, it can mean your relationship is going to become more connected by virtue of shared beliefs or faith in something greater than yourself and your own coupledom. Suddenly the two of you get religion together. benefits from a father or father figure, bringing you abundance, authority figures, masculine figures, because it's the house of the father in Vedic astrology. So you could find that as part of the narrative. Pluto is lending some power and some support from your natal fifth house. And that is the house of joy, fun, play, pleasure, sexuality, and money luck. So because a lot of this is, the seventh house energy, it really feels to me like that Pluto support is allowing you to birth a new level of connection in your intimacy with your partner. And if you have no children and you're with somebody and you're of childbearing age, there is a possibility with the jolts of Uranian energy hitting your fifth house and Jupiter in your seventh, that you're in an unexpected fertility window. So be cautious around that. Certainly, though, this auspicious sky is trying to open up a portal to something new and good and fresh that's extremely rare. Rainbows and unicorns in the marriage and business partnership and fan and audience and client house. All right. And let's keep going. All right. So the sign after you guys is Libra, Libra sun, Libra moon, Libra rising sign. Now, Libra people, this is a very interesting placement. It's kind of subtle for you. One of the people who get the subtle version of it, and that's your natal sixth house. Well, it is functionally, it's an aversion to your identity, but it's a functional house. It has to do with the routines around work and health, like going to the office, setting your Zoom, doing your morning routines, doing your push-ups, things you do, routines, daily activities, the work you do in the world as well, how you do the work. And so this energy is really being opened up. And it's also your karmic debt, whether you believe in karma and karmic debt, this is your karmic debt in Vedic astrology. So you may find that this is a window of exquisite enchantment coming up, 166 years rare. And you're going to feel this yay on, the 12th and 13th, and it's opening up a beginning, a portal to something. I love the word portal when Neptune's involved. He's transcendent, he's transdimensional, all of that. And so you could be eliminating some kind of karmic storyline as this reset goes on, and Jupiter midwives a new beginning. But you could also just find really good changes in your work and your work environment and your health routines. And it's a house of sickness, and this is a blessing in the sky. So it could be, for some of you Libras, challenging health issues begin to resolve, and in fact with Neptune, dissolve away, erode, dissolve, disappear, flow away from you. You can use this portal in the sky, come to my manifest your soul dream, to increase or change or activate a manifestation around better health and also around better work activities and routines. Okay. And abundance is trying to come to you from Abundantia in Taurus at 22 degrees of Taurus, and your eighth house of mortgages and loans and bequeathments, inheritances. Sometimes it can be like lottery money, because it's money that the government would give you, right? The government gives you the lottery money. So tax rebates, stuff like that. So you're getting some kind of jolt of abundance, but it's connected as well to like working that sixth house karmic debt off, and maybe looking like closely at how you want to change your work routines to enhance your health and your wellness and your everything. An example could even be applying for a loan if you have your own business, so that you can do something that you need, like buy the software, the computer, or the equipment that you actually needed for a long time. And then when you do, it improves your sense of well-being. Pluto is supporting you in your fourth house. He's like, well, first, Pluto doesn't really do a lot of support, but he's been in your fourth house since 2008 and has been transforming your home, where you live, and your home base, and your relationship to your family of origin and your ancestral line. And now he's coming to the end of that in 2024, but he's finishing strong here, and he's loving up this gorgeous magical sky in a sextile and trining Abundantia, etc. So Pluto could be saying, why not capitalize on work routines in your home, or investments in your home, or changes in your home, or refinancing something new with your home or homeland or home life that's really going to power up some incredible healing of your wellness and your health issues, as well as your routines for work. Now, Uranus is in your eighth house, so very sudden developments can happen with this Abundantia wealth house, right? A chunk of money can come to you. And if you need a chunk of money, then take my Manifest Your Soul class, because this could bring you a chunk of money. Especially the karmic debt house could be like, honestly, very magical. It's a 612 axis. So it could be like, maybe you left a treasure behind and you're paying off your karmic debt in this lifetime, and you can reclaim a chunk of treasure from a past life because, you know, I think of Pluto in the fourth house as the treasure chest. It's also gold and silver and crypto investments, you know, something like that could really pay off in the manifestation window of this after this time of the 12th and 13th. Now I'm telling you what could happen, but you can make it happen. Manifest your soul dream. Come to my class. It's free. It'll be pinned in the description box and the comments as well. Why not have some fun on a manifestation journey with me? Moving forward. Scorpio, sun, moon, rising sign. Well, hey guys, remember I mentioned earlier, maybe you didn't listen to every sign, the water signs get the most yay from this. If your rising sign, sun or moon Scorpio is 15 to 27 Scorpio, which my sun is, you will find this is such a blessing, such a flow of luck and opportunity. Of all of the signs, I'm thinking I like yours the best. I really do, even more than the Pisces themselves. Why? Because this triple conjunction is in your fifth house of luck, the house of good fortune, the house of money, luck, speculation, winning the lottery, having good things happen, fun, joy, play, sexuality, pleasure, romance, all of that. Certainly, this is good. If you want to join my class and manifest your soul dream, what would you manifest from the fifth house? You would manifest a romantic partner, a dream mate, a big love. You would manifest a baby or a child if you're trying to get pregnant or your partner is. You could try to tune in and manifest a windfall, a financial lucky break. Okay. So you guys really should try this out. And if you don't want to, that's fine, but come, it's free. And the replay is going to be given to you if you can't make it there Saturday at 10 o'clock Pacific. No big deal. You get a replay. Okay. And there will be a limit, by the way, of only 49 people who can do this with me live because of my Zoom limits. I don't have the Zoom webinar. So after 49 people sign up, we're full. So you'll have to listen to the replay. So just keep that in mind. So Scorpios, this flow of energy into your natal fifth house is exquisitely going to open up this from the fifth house, a corridor of goodness and opportunity from abundantia through this, the energy of your seventh house. Now, your seventh house is legal agreements, negotiations, and deals. Oh yeah, the art of the deal. So you may sign a contract, you may have something you have to negotiate, whatever that brings you abundance. It's also your marriage partner. So if you're not single and you already have somebody, you could manifest, this could be manifesting a sky in which something that your marriage partner is up to opens up a portal of more joy, play, pleasure, fun, and abundance, fertility, pregnancy, children, and windfalls or money, luck through speculation. You guys definitely need to be playing lottery tickets, or so does your business or marriage partner. And sudden, very dramatic energy, because not only is the north node with abundantia in your seventh angular house, but so is Uranus. So out of the blue, bolts of excitement happening that are good for you. You know, if you're an inspired artist type, a musician, a performer, a songwriter, a writer, this is going to open up the gates to your muse. So I should have said that in the beginning, Scorpio. If you are a muse-driven being and you are a creative, this is your time. You could download something, even if you don't take my class, A Dream at Night, an idea. Oh my God, it's so good for you. So good for you. And if you want to start your own business, this is going to open up gateways for that fifth house independent business enterprise. Pluto's lending support from the third house of trips and travel, siblings, and your local neighborhood. Pluto's just saying, let's power up sources of goodness, aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings, and local neighborhood, lending a hand towards whatever this prosperity, abundance energy is that's coming through your sky. I really love what you guys get for this. I wish I was a Scorpio now. I really do. I have to say, I think you guys have the best one of all. Okay, so moving forward to Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. So this is very angular. It's in your fourth house of home and land and real estate and your ancestral, your mom and dad family line, family of origin, childhood experiences, all of that, the bottom of the sky. Now, if you have land or home or real estate that you want to buy, lease, or sell, or you're hoping to buy, lease, or sell, or you want to make a change in that area, this Manifest Your Soul Dream portal is really good for that stuff. This is where you guys can come in, do a meditation with me and my crew on a free class and manifest something amazing. Okay. I only have 50 spots available because I have a Zoom limitation. I'm not a webinar level Zoom person at this point. So if you don't sign up, you can still get the replay. If you sign up and you don't make the cut for the 50, you know, the kind of thing. You'll have a replay given to you right away after. It's just as effective, and a free Enter the Synchronicity Portal meditation gift from me as well. Is professionally produced that I did. And you know why I like that one for the Neptune thing is Neptune is about magic, synchronicity, transcendence, spirituality, good stuff like that. And that entering the Synchronicity Portal meditation really opens you up to flow. Now, you have abundance coming from your sixth house. Sixth house is your house of your karmic debt. And I just want to say it can literally be a very metaphysical placement for the sky right now, because a sextile from Abundantia with a north node of destiny in the house of karmic debt means it's literally almost like you pay off a karmic debt and you get a treasure or a windfall of some kind. Sagittarius is. Now, it's technically your work and health routines where the abundance is coming to. So honestly, it could be a massive, sudden, exciting change in your work routines where you get a whole new development that allows you to prosper and thrive and have some goodness and hope and joy in your home and home life. You can also have support from Pluto in the earnings house, you know, and possessions, sell a home, sell a car, sell an antique or something, or, you know, or more powerful income, a raise or something happening from that second house, owning that second house of resources. Pluto's just about to leave. He's been terraforming, transforming, transmuting your second house of values and resources and money and possessions since 2008. It's not always been easy. I know a lot of Sagittarius have gone up and down there with some very big ups and downs in their finances. But as Pluto's finishing this journey, he's finishing strong with Abundantia. Right, finishes in 2024 under a blessed rare sky that's 166 years rare. So liking that for you guys, I think what you're going to find here, if you want to harness this energy, is a fruitfulness and a real expansion around themes of home and joy in the home as well. Jupiter's there. And at the same time, some potential windfall or financial gain of abundance through the work you're doing in the world, or through some kind of karmic debt repayment program, like a karmic dividend comes home to roost. So yeah, you know, I mean, like with Pluto in your second, it could be you thought that your car was only worth $10,000, but then you find out it's a collector's item now and you sell it for 20, just making something up, right? Because of possession, right? And Pluto. So trining Abundantia in the sixth house. Okay, so moving forward. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising sign, energetically, you're going to find that this portal of manifestation is going to throw a lot of yummy stuff at you from your third house of your local trips and travel, like domestic travel, travel close to home. It would be ideal on the 12th or 13th for some of you to plan a trip somewhere because it will bring goodness to you. It also has to do with your siblings and then maybe your aunts, uncles, and cousins, and maybe something you wish to learn online, especially with Jupiter here. A lot of you guys, Jupiter in the third house for a lot of caps is going to maybe propel you to want to learn something, to study something that's useful and exciting and brings you joy. This is not higher education. It's more like a skills-based learning, a shorter a webinar, a seminar, something like that. But the goodness in the third house definitely is going to open up the potential of abundance through your natal fifth house of money, luck, and good, the house of good fortune, and the house of romance as well. So for some of you Capricorns, I would say Abundantia, Uranus, North Node in your fifth house, buy those lottery tickets. It is time to play the lottery within your means, or buy that speculative risky investment that you've been thinking about and, you know, go for it. Something is trying to give you some financial abundance in a money house. So yay for you. And a sudden and exciting developments because of Uranus's co-presence in Taurus. And yet you're harnessing the magic from the third house. And, you know, the third house is a sibling's house too. So maybe there's something to do with a family member, a sibling in particular. For some Capricorns, they could open up this floodgate for abundance. But you have also the potential of just using it in relationship to the ideas of third house things. It's a cadent house, but it's also a house about mental activity and ideas. So, but I like the trips and travel as well for you. So I think some Caps should be taking a trip on the 12th, 13th, or 14th, or anytime in the week after. I just think that there's something magical and enchanting about travel, and even romantic travel that you might take during that window of time. Pluto finishing his absolute transformation of your identity since 2008. I know it's not been easy. He's got he's done in 2024, but here he's finishing strong with this trine to abundantia in your money luck house. And Pluto is wealth himself, wealth and power. So wealth and power from the first house to abundantia in the fifth is you have to do it yourself. You have to take action. You have to make a powerful decision or move in a powerful direction or do some powerful Plutonian thing in order to get this goodness. So I don't know what to say. Pluto rules cryptocurrency, gold and silver, oil, if it's an investment, or just you taking action, doing the thing you need to do. It's not going to land in your lap. So if it's just buying a lottery ticket, do it, But how you can harness the manifestation thing from the third house is interesting. Maybe it's best for you to activate a portal to potentiality and manifestation from a trip, really. I don't know how else to take that third house. It's often very much connected to a journey somewhere on a train, on a plane, or on an automobile. Finally, we're going to finish up with Aquarius. That's me. I'm Aquarius rising, Saturn on my ascendant. All right, let's go. So Aquarius, we have one of the better skies for this in a sense that it's all about money. This is the second house of our earnings and our possessions and our resources that support our life and things that have to do with, making our life safe, and food, shelter, and water, and all of the things we need to be thriving in life. So because this second house feeds the first, and this energy of the second house is also connected to the voice, vocation, and calling, vocare of our sky. And there's a interdimensional opening here with with Neptune and Jupiter and the sun. So voice, calling, vocation, for some of you Aquarians, you might be, oh my God, downloading or really accessing some other part of your being. Neptune rules imagination, storytelling, filmmaking, photography, music. I don't know. It could be very literal. You pick up a pen and write a book after this, or pen a screenplay or something like that. But it is very magical. And so magical money, let's call it for you guys, magical money. If you're an Aquarius and you want to come to my class, I only have 50 spots available. Please do sign up. It will fill up, and come in and enjoy the magical manifestation hour with me. Well, we'll go through the astrology sky for sure, once again, in a little more depth, but also we'll be doing a guided meditation together. And I would like you to consider, if you can't make it, just signing up anyway, because I will have a replay available same day. And you could just get that and do it yourself, as well as my free gift. All right, to enter the synchronicity portal meditation. But, abundantia, the abundance factor, is coming out of the fourth house of real estate for you. And with Uranus and the North Node there, it's expansive, it's exhilarating, it's sudden. Okay, for example, I'm looking for a new place to live. Both the abundance of the second house and the real estate of the fourth house suggests I'm going to do that this portal will open up that possibility. Now I'm going to manifest, I'm going to picture at a very exciting new home. I'm not going to leave any detail out. That's how I'm going to harness this thing on Saturday, Sunday, right? And if you don't do that, it doesn't matter. Something still is coming through. I just like refining it with your own soul power, your soul dream, to add a spice rather than me just getting a new place. I want to get the place that dazzles me, really. And I can't believe how lucky I am to live in this view place overlooking the ocean with with 4 bedrooms and luxury linens or something like that. I don't know how that happens, guys. It's not in my budget, but I'm just sort of suggesting there's magic in the sky around home and land and real estate and where you live for all of you Aquarians right now. Add to that Pluto's lending power from the house of past lives, your 12th house, the house of your deep imagination and reverie and dreams at night, and the house of your soul and your the deeper spiritual part of you, the eternal you, right? Certainly you can take it like Pluto has been going through your 12th house and you've been having quite the journey since 2008. Like I had 2 enlightenment episodes. So we're, die before you die, really. But also, what if you left treasure in a past life? What if you died and you couldn't take your treasure chest with you? I see a lot of people who are natally Pluto in the 12th house coming into great wealth in their life at some point, because it's like they literally parked a treasure chest in a past life. And when it's activated by time lords or transits, they suddenly get very wealthy. But this is a temporary transit for all of you Aquarians. So this treasure chest of wealth is coming out of your 12th house into the visible part of your sky, into your house of you in 2024. But before then, what could be happening? What could be happening here for you in this manifestation window where a treasure chest of karmic wealth is coming due, and you can help midwife it with Jupiter luck in your second house. Jupiter in your second house till mid-May is looking to bring you some really good money stories, like really good, and comes back in the end of the year for a couple months too. But this is your time. And if your rising sign is 15 to 27 degrees of Aquarius, you may feel this a little bit better than others, but not necessarily. This really applies to all Aquariuses because technically our rising signs are in aversion. Although if your rising sign is anywhere near those 50 to 27, you do have abundantia, yay, abundance, able to connect directly with your identity and your sun and moon as well between 50 to 27. So you're really going to hit the high note on abundance in home and land and real estate, etc. Lastly, if your mom is still alive, I use the fourth house as a house of the mother. Some abundance may come through mother or legacy wealth, the passing of an elder in the family system. And it could be a father too, but it doesn't always have to be that. This could just be coming abundant, sudden directions of money from somewhere to connect it to home, land, and real estate. And lastly, for a lot of you guys, we're going to go into more depth in the class together, consider that the reason that this is so auspicious as well, just a little side note for you guys, okay, is that, Venus just reset herself in Capricorn, right? Where that treasure chest Pluto is on January 8th, and is opening up a portal until the end of October for some kind of money from a past life kind of story. And Venus rules your fourth house where this abundantia connections happening. So I do think a lot of you guys, a lot of Aquarians are going to really hit some kind of financial abundance and resourcefulness. And it's going to really be connected to home and land and real estate. All right. So I'm done, and thank you for listening. And I hope that was useful. And I hope to see you guys in the Manifest Your Soul Dream class. As I said, for the live attendance, I think I can only fit 49 people, including myself, as 50. Otherwise, I'd have to upgrade my Zoom. And if you sign up and you're like the 51st person, I could always upgrade my Zoom, but I could always just send you the replay. So jump in quickly. It won't be, I'm sure it's going to fill up actually. All right. I would love to see you guys there. Ciao, ciao.